The intro to these is always the hardest. It's the most uncomfortable moment. Greetings, everyone, at the URFLT. This is Spencer, and I am joined today with a special guest, Cecilia. Welcome to the show, Cecilia.
Thank you, Spencer. Nice to be here.
Is this your first time on a podcast?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Pretty
Congratulations. Fun. Welcome.
Oh, that's an honor.
It's a great resume. It's a great resume builder.
Yes, we can put it like that. I was part of the webcast with Spencer.
Yeah, it's going to be great for your long-term prospects. You may not know this. You are the first female and the first person of a diverse background to be on the show.
Really?
So congratulations.
Okay,
yeah.
That's
you
much
are
better.
You're
That's
a pioneer.
Nice.
Yeah. Between the two of us, I am 50% Uruguayan. You are 100% Uruguayan?
100%.
All right.
Yeah.
So between the two of us, we're 1.5 parts of Uruguay descent, and we're going to be talking a little bit about the country for reasons which I will reveal momentarily.
Yeah.
It's down below Brazil. It's to the right of Argentina. It's about the size of Oklahoma, based on my research. What are your ties to Uruguay? Like, did you grow up there? Have you just visited a few times?
No, I was born in Uruguay. My whole family is from there, and I moved here in 2003. That means almost all my life I was living there.
2003?
It's a long time.
Okay.
Probably not for you, but for me it's a long time.
Wow.
Yeah, 2003 I moved here.
But you miss it?
Yes. I mean, it was a time that I was not feeling I was from here, and I was missing my family, my friend. I was missing everything from Uruguay. But then it was a time that I went to visit, and I was fine like for 10 days. And then I was like, okay, I want to go back home. And when I thinking about home, I was thinking about here. That's why for a few years, I was not from there, and I was not from here. But now I know I'm feeling like I have my family here, and this is home.
Yeah. So what do your kids think when they go back there? Is it just kind of blow their mind? They kind of have fun with it?
I mean, they like it because they have family, and we are trying to keep them connected. But the Spanish English is like a barrier for them. I mean, they know Spanish, and they can talk with me, but over them people are talking so fast and kind of yelling sometimes. And that one is kind of a barrier for them. But we will see.
Interesting. I didn't realize that you had lived there for so long. You will be the expert on this podcast, which we're getting to the point of why we're talking Uruguay. This is not a book report. This is not World Geography 101. We are here to solve a big problem that we have here in the country, here at American Express, which is the World Cup is coming up. The World Cup's coming up this summer.
Yeah, in June.
For the first time in approximately 32 years, the United States has failed to qualify. And so I think a lot of people are asking themselves, who am I going to root for, right?
Yes, because, I mean,
got to root for somebody.
Yeah, we want you to have a team that you can go with and, be happy to watch the game and follow the whole World Cup.
Exactly. And so that is why we would like to give you the top 10 reasons why Uruguay should be the team that you are rooting for.
Yeah.
All right. So that is what we are going to get to momentarily. But first, I have an unrelated question for you.
Okay.
This doesn't really have to do with soccer. Sorry. The soundtrack of my life for the last 3 or 4 weeks has been Monsters, Inc., the movie. Well, also Monsters University. Both, yeah. Both Monsters, Inc. and Monsters University. It's my daughter's favorite show, so it's on repeat at my house. And Mike Wazowski's girlfriend is named Celia. Do people call you Celia, or is your name? Is it just Cecilia? I've heard people refer to you as Ceci at times. What?
Yes, my name.
How should I be calling you for this podcast?
My name is Cecilia.
Yep.
But the short name for Cecilia is Cici. But in Uruguay, people call me Ceci. But I'm here like Ceci or Cici. I mean both.
But no
I
Celia. No one's
No.
Okay.
I mean, if you just say like Cecilia pretty fast, like Celia, sometimes sound like Celia. Yeah.
Okay.
But it's good.
My daughter wanted to know if I knew anyone with the same name as Mike Wazowski's girlfriend. Okay. Thanks for indulging me. So we are going to get to the top 10 reasons why you should embrace Uruguay as the country of your rooting interest for the 2018 World Cup. Cecilia and I have each generated 5 reasons why. We're going to bounce back and forth between the two of us, each giving a reason. Do you want to go first?
Yeah.
All right. Here we
Okay.
go. The number one, the first reason
is Uruguay is good at soccer. And that one is like just one sentence, but they will say a lot of stuff about that. First, we were the winner of the first World Cup, the official first World Cup in 1930. The second time was 1950.
Represent,
yeah. And then prior to that, it was like two Olympics game. That was like the non-official World Cup. That one was in 1924 and 1928. That means we have like 4 world title, can we say. And that one for a small country like Uruguay, because we just have 3.5 million in population, and having like 2 World Cup and 2 Olympic Games, way to say that we are really good at soccer. And also we can add like the 2010 that we were in number 4.
Yep. Yeah. So that's I saw that stat. Uruguay is the smallest country to have ever won a World Cup.
Yes.
But not just one. They've won 2.
2. That
and
means,
the 2 Olympic goals
Olympics,
that you talked about.
Yeah.
I also saw, so there's this, there are continental tournaments held geographically throughout the world.
Yes. The other one that is kind of not in the same year that the World Cup, like it's called Copa America.
Years. Yep.
And I think the last one was 2016.
Maybe 16 or 14.
Okay, we won the 2010 Copa America.
Gotcha.
And that one was there is a lot of promise for 2018 and the World Cup.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah.
That Copa America, so Uruguay plays with tough competition. Brazil, Argentina are down there.
Yeah, they always, Brazil and Argentina are the biggest.
But Uruguay's won more Copa Americas than them. They are the leader in South America. So you said it. Uruguay is good at soccer. That's reason number 1. Okay, we'll bounce to me. My first reason. Economist magazine named Uruguay the country of the year in the year 2013. Quite the recognition. Before I read the article, I'll admit that I went into the article expecting that the reasons that it was named the country of the year would be like GDP growth or, some sort of economic factor. It turns out that the reason that they voted Uruguay country of the year was based around 2 things. Number 1, I guess the president of Uruguay is a very humble fellow. He drives a Volkswagen Beetle.
Yeah,
he
exactly. He lives in a farm.
Yeah, he lives in a small cottage farm.
He donates his whole salary to a charity.
It said he flies economy class on all his travels. So I was impressed. Clearly, Economist magazine as well.
He was a really good character. I mean, they was close to the people. I mean, he was just going and say hi to everyone. And
definitely relatable.
And that was one of the things that was kind of weird for the international people to see, is that the president? And that's how he's handled his relationships. Yeah.
It's working down there. That was one reason that they gave Uruguay props. The second was more surprising. Uruguay apparently was the first country to was the first country to legalize the sale of cannabis.
Yeah, the marijuana.
I was unaware of this, and according to the Economist magazine, they felt that this was an economically prudent move that would benefit the country. You and I don't have to comment on that, but it was part of
a lot to say about that.
It was part of the reason they were voted country of the year. Of course, there was also a token comment in there about the country safety. They said that Uruguay's a pretty safe place. You have firsthand knowledge. Is that true? Do you feel?
I mean, it just depending on the area.
Fair.
But it's kind of like 2 sides of the story if you talk about safety.
Would you say safer than my hometown of West Valley City?
You are safe in West Valley.
Okay, safer.
That's
safer in
fine.
West Valley than and then the sketchier parts of Uruguay. Okay, interesting.
And just some areas that
Fair enough.
Yep.
All right, let's go to your second reason. Reason number 2 from Cecilia.
Wait. I lost my. Okay.
Solid research going on here.
Okay, we were saying what about if you're looking the American flag and the Uruguayan flag? The Uruguayan flag has 9 stripes, and they have in the corner the sun. The American flag has a stripe as well. In the corner, they have the stars. And we say, okay, yes, the sun, the star, but we also find out that in American flag, you represent the states. In Uruguay, the logo of the country has 4 stars. And it's not the states or Uruguay. Those represent the tournament that Uruguay has in the back. It's like, okay, the 2 star for the World Cup and the 2 star for the Olympics soccer tournament. I was like, okay, this is amazing. I can show you, just showing you the logo, the country, how important soccer for us. I mean, it's like a passion. I mean,
gotcha. So the United States celebrates the 50 states.
Yeah, we celebrate
Uruguay
soccer.
celebrates the 4 titles.
That's what we are doing.
That is fantastic.
And the other thing, remember that we were talking in the past, is like about the national anthem.
Oh, yes.
Yes, we have the longest one, national anthem in this story, 6 minutes.
6 minutes of national anthem.
Yeah, and it's pretty intense. It's pretty intense. Like when you start, say Orientales, La Patria or La Tumba, which mean fatherland or the grave. Yeah, one thing or the other one. It's like no middle point. Fatherland or the grave. La Patria or La Tumba.
All right.
Like, okay, you live or you die. That's just the start, the national anthem. Yeah.
Country pride from Uruguay.
Yeah.
Right. I'll jump to point number 2. Let's relive the story of a young man by the name of Luis Suarez.
Okay, you want to go that deep? Are you sure?
Listeners may be familiar with this individual due to events in the 2014 World Cup. I'm going to go back a little bit further. Let's talk about Suarez in the 2010 Cup. A little known incident. Gosh, I should back up for a second and say Suarez is the best Uruguayan footballer.
I will recognize.
Currently, but he does have a checkered past, a controversial history.
Yeah, but we have to say Luis Suarez is like an idol. I mean, he's a really good guy, just with the family and friends. He's a really good guy.
Okay.
And I know, like, international, we can see, like, what happened in 2010 and what happened in 2014, but he's really such a good guy.
He also has great hair. Solid.
Yeah, I just feel like...
I'm a fan. So, 2010, Uruguay is in the final 8, going up against Ghana.
Yep.
Must-win situation, right? Single game elimination. Ghana, near the end of the game, basically have a free shot on goal. The goalie is out of position.
Yeah, I think it was last minute, right?
Yeah,
or last,
I mean,
don't know.
end of the
so
game,
exciting.
It's almost a guaranteed 99% of the time Ghana is going to win, Ghana is going to advance. Suarez is in position to jump between the shot and the goal box. Man, I'm probably getting my soccer vocab a little weird, but Suarez is not the goalie. He jumps in and deflects the ball with his hand, which is a no-holds-barred penalty. Red card, he's suspended for the next game. And it major faux pas in the soccer world.
It was really like stressing situation because I'm sure it was just the last chance for Ghana and for Uruguay to decide the game. And Ghana was just over there in front of the goalie and just a clear shot. Yeah. It was like, was no way to miss it. It was no way for the goalie to stop that ball.
Yeah, he was out of position. And the crazy thing is, from the American culture standpoint, we would celebrate a move like this where a person was willing to break the rules to save their team from losing.
Yeah, it was a risk.
But the rest of the world, this was disrespectful to soccer to commit the handball violation,
it was
to be a goalie when you're not a goalie.
Play.
Yeah, like an illegal play, a cheap play. So this was the beginning of the Suarez dramatics because he did this illegal procedure. What ends up happening is the game goes to overtime.
It was a penalty.
Yeah, penalty, yes.
He missed it.
Yep.
And then there was like an extension, right?
Yeah, it must have gone to overtime.
Yeah, and then we went to penalty. Uruguay won to Ghana. That means it was kind of like of the game.
Yeah. So basically, the rest of the world, minus the U.S., is saying Uruguay cheated to advance.
Yeah, to the 4th place.
Yep.
I mean, to the
next round. So this was part 1 of the controversy. And then part 2, everyone's familiar with. 2014, Luis Suarez bites an Italian. He gets kicked out, and everyone's like, wait, he's bitten 2 other people. It turns out he has a history of biting. All of which I bring up to say this point. If you want to root for Uruguay, this is one of the best reasons because sports always brings us these underdog redemption stories. Here's a guy with a checkered past, bad history. He has a chance to redeem himself. This will be his last World Cup where he's, at the peak of his powers.
Yes.
So this is a chance to root for a comeback story.
Yeah, I mean, as I say, he's a really cool guy. And I don't know what happened in 2014. I don't know what was happening in his inside that he did that. I mean, I kind of understand the 2010 because it was... I don't
the 2010 makes sense to me.
Yeah.
I mean,
the 2014, it was so bad.
And
Oh, you know one thing?
oh yeah.
About, I don't know if you want to
No,
move.
go ahead.
I'm from a small town, probably 5,000 in population,
Okay.
and we have a local tournament. And this guy, Suarez, make a video inviting the whole country to go for this tournament. But this one is pretty like local thing. I mean, nobody was expecting to see like in the radio, in the television, Suarez inviting to go to my hometown to watch soccer.
Wow.
It was really good. I mean, that's what I'm saying. He's a really genuine guy, and he's really good.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And I'll just add, this is the last point. If you don't want to embrace Suarez and this redemption story or comeback story, you might as well cheer for him because he might do something crazy. Like if
Yeah,
he's
you never know.
if he's done a
right?
handball 8 years ago, bites someone 4 years
Yeah.
ago, what's next in the
Yeah.
unpredictable story?
He can
so
be like a
worth following.
nice person, flowing on the field, playing soccer in the best, or you never know, right?
Yeah, could lose his mind. Okay, let's
Yeah.
go to point number 3 for you, Cecilia.
Yeah. Point number 3, there is always a rival thing going on between Brazil and Argentina and Uruguay. And you know, Brazil, Argentina, Germany are the big teams that if you don't have your country in the World Cup, you probably are going with one of them.
Yeah.
Germany, Brazil, or Argentina.
Yeah, if you're a bandwagon fan.
Yes, exactly. That's why we say, okay, go with Uruguay. You will not have any issues with Brazil and Argentina. Also, remember who are the countries that we are playing against?
Oh, yeah.
That will be a good point. I don't know if
I forgot about that.
Argentina and Brazil, we have countries to play. Like, for example, Uruguay is playing against Egypt, Saudi Arabia, and then Russia. That means it's a good point that you guys should support Uruguay.
With the U.S. out of the competition, it would be easy to say, I'm going to cheer for Germany or Brazil.
Yeah.
That's like saying I'm going to cheer for the Warriors. Uruguay is a good dark horse candidate with talented players like Suarez, like Cavani, without you sacrificing the integrity of being a bandwagon chump. That's all.
Yeah.
That's kind of a harsh word, but I'm just going to say it that way.
I mean, I'm not saying you should not watch Argentina and Brazil. I will watch them as well. But I think Uruguay is making a good option.
All right. Point number 3 on my side. This one may be a bit of a stretch.
Yeah, but maybe it's another reason why we're supporting Uruguay, right?
I would like to highlight Uruguay's superior contribution to the war effort during World War II.
Yeah, that's a good point.
What I mean by this, 1939, President Roosevelt was drafting what would this war document, which would be known as the Declaration by the United Nations. This is like the document that all the Allies signed in unity against the Axis. This was kind of the forerunner document to the United Nations, and basically everybody who is everybody signed in on this declaration, including Uruguay.
Yeah.
Guess who didn't sign it? Uruguay's #1 rival and one of the fan favorites, Argentina. So with that, I would just like to say Uruguay supported the World War II effort more than Argentina.
Yeah, then
that's
we
a good
can
reason why we should root for
support
them.
this year, right? In 2018.
That's
that
why
would
we
be
should
like a
support 'em.
payback.
Yeah,
you think?
that's a good way to.
Yeah. Okay, then what about England? How you say?
What about them?
Yeah, the contribution that they did for the war.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, England's contribution to World
Yeah.
War II. You know, historians probably debate who had the bigger contribution between England and Uruguay.
You can see we
naturally.
can balance at that point.
Yeah, we'll have to check the advanced stats. I don't know how to respond to
I
that
think
one
we
right
can.
now.
Yeah, I think we can still call in good.
Point number 4 on your side, Cecilia.
Okay, number 4. What about Amex supporting Uruguay?
Amex
And
supporting Uruguay.
Yes,
the company.
Did you check the square like a week ago?
I do not believe I did.
No? Okay. Okay. Like I think was last year as well that was in the square, but this year they have an article. Amex was like choosing Punta del Este, which is one of the most important beaches in Uruguay, to display like what are the benefits for the platinum card members.
Ooh.
And they will for the whole summer. I mean, as you can probably know, over there now is summer. We
Gotcha.
are kind of the opposite. I mean, they will display a whole Amex space with discounts for restaurant, all the kind of benefit for the card members. And they say this one is like the place for the party for the summer.
Awesome.
And look like it's the first time Amex is creating that space for the car members just under Amex name. It's not like, okay, you partner with a different group. No, it's just an Amex place in Punta del Este next to the beach. I mean, I just saw the picture. It was so beautiful. I wish I can be there and not here like in the middle of the winter.
Yes.
But that's one of the things that we can say, yes,
cool.
Amex is supporting. See what Amex is doing in Uruguay.
There you go, people. Yeah. My fourth point, how about this? The country of Uruguay was voted the most attractive country in the Southern Hemisphere by a questionably reputable media source called Media Mass. That's not very important, but they highlighted a number of impressive features of attractiveness of the people of Uruguay. Number one, they boasted about facial symmetry being very in line with expectation. Nose proportion was one of the best in the Southern Hemisphere. And
like in the average, more or less?
Well, I mean, you can go bad with less or more. So I think that they were saying that the nose proportion met standard. And finally, hair endurance. Yeah, so apparently the Uruguayan people, the hair endurance, they don't go bald very often, which kind of lame considering myself. Yeah,
what happened? What is your Uruguayan?
Clearly, I don't know, my non-Uruguayan contributions messed me up.
It's kind of weird, the hair. I
mean, you could tell me if you've seen what you would consider great hair endurance in the country.
I mean, it can be just in average. I don't know. I mean,
okay.
But so, yeah, okay. Is like which one was the first one?
Facial symmetry.
Oh, okay.
And then nose proportion.
Oh my God.
And hair endurance.
And the hair. Okay. See, another reason.
Another reason.
Uruguay.
Beautiful people. All right, what's your last reason?
Okay, my last reason, this one is back to the 1910, 1913.
Going back in time.
Yeah, let's go back in time because, Uruguay was one of the first countries that opened to diversity in the soccer. We were starting having Italian coaches, learning European techniques, and then it was the first team that accepted multiracial participants. Wow. And there was pretty a political discussion and critics about that. I mean, there was the transfer from the soccer level to the political level because they were saying Uruguay was taking advantage because we were using multiracial players in our team. But it was the first country that went to the Olympics representing more than one racial.
Yeah, they were one of the first countries to adopt racial integration.
Yes, exactly. And, we show the world that, that's our population. I mean, that's what is representing Uruguay, and that's what is representing. We are not just one racial. We are just integrated. And, you can see now in today's world, I mean, you can see all the team are representing diversity. And that one was one of the reasons that I was so surprised, we were the first, and I'm feeling proud about that. Yeah.
We should have realized that because you look at, going back to Luis Suarez, he bit a variety of people. He didn't just...
he didn't care about...
Right, he bit a Dutchman, he bit a Serbian, he bit an Italian. I mean, some people would say, I'm not going to bite an American. I'm not going to bite a German. But Uruguayans are very inclusive. Yeah. They'll accept anyone. Since 1910, you said?
Yeah.
That's cool. Excellent. My last point, number 5. In 1972, there was a dramatic plane crash in the Andes. On board were all Uruguayans. A number of people unfortunately perished, but there were also 16 survivors from this plane crash in the Andes Mountains. They were stranded for 72 days. Mm-hmm. They had a small radio, and they actually heard on day 8 that the search party was canceled.
Yeah, it was canceled.
The plane was white. The mountains were snow-capped, so it was impossible to find the wreckage because it blended in. So they actually got the news on the radio, hey, the search has been canceled. Mm-hmm. So you would think, okay, we're destitute, we're done, we're in these terrible temperatures. But using a variety of survival methods and endurance methods, they end up surviving for over 2 months. Tracking through, I think they ended up in somewhere in Chile, and they were discovered. Yeah. And I know that there's some controversy around the story and some elements, but it's a pretty cool story of just this is the never say die attitude that the soccer team possesses. Yeah. That and if you're cheer for, you'll be able to see firsthand.
It was not a soccer team, but it was
rugby.
Rugby.
I think it was a rugby team.
Yeah, there was just traveling families and some friends and the coaches, just build.
Yeah, some of the stuff they did, like so they said that there was you're at such a high altitude, you've got the snow and you've got the sun, that the reflection is blinding, and so they fashioned these MacGyver sunglasses so that they wouldn't be blinded, and like you're saying, the shelter they created.
The shelter, and that way they keep them alive, and they will, the one that they were stronger, they just want to find help. It's kind of hard, I think someone can be in that position and survive.
Yeah.
And I
72
know
days.
Yeah, and I know it's a lot of controversy and the thing that they had to do it, but it's a survival story.
The instinct and the endurance. Yeah, they don't just have hair endurance; they also have physical endurance.
Yeah.
All right, URFLT folk listeners, those are our 10 reasons why you should consider adopting Uruguay as your team for this summer.
Yep.
You're not betraying the United States, because the United States didn't make it, unfortunately, but this is a good fill-in candidate. Cecilia, thank you. Not Celia, Cece, or Ceci. Thanks for coming on the show. Take it easy.
Thank you,
Good luck with the
Spencer.
rest of your workday. See you.
Bye-bye.